Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. There's too much to talk about, people. Too much. I don't think I'll ever finish this series. Too much. Too much. First of all, I have a very good archive. Very many photographs. And each picture has a story. Lots of stories, people. But anyway, it's all the Diaspora series, as you know. Bringing you my 25 years in the UK or in the diaspora. I should be in the US, by the way. You know that. I should be in the US. I had an American Beauty summer camp 2001, summer camp 2002. The best summers of my life. Yep. You've heard a little bit of that story. We're last in the US. It's many years ago, people. It seems like it is yesterday. That's the very strangest of all things. It seems like yesterday. Time flies. Time flies. 10 years ago, I was celebrating my 44th birthday. 44 years, 10 years ago. You've seen the picture. We had a very big roast dinner. A big roast. Growing up, chicken was not even a delicacy at home because we had a farm. My mom was part of the launching team or the launching project. Yoga Chick of today. But back then, you're talking of Uganda Development Corporation. It was a very big project. And it was called the Hatcheries, Uganda Hatcheries, under Uganda Development Corporation. Head office, First Street in Australia. Mulaba wali Nasa Road, Nasa, Nkrumah Road. At the very end, that's where there were offices. My mom used to work there. And Roger Mukasa, Uncle Roger Mukasa, was a personal family friend of ours as well, who had worked in coffee marketing board in the 70s with my dad when they were setting it up. My dad got rich from coffee. You know that. Zinalaba General Coffee Merchants. Mafuta mingi. Emwanyi yakase. But he had a background in agriculture, my dad, you know that. I'll give you the story of Bukalasa Agricultural College. I have landed on some pictures of my dad, the group of them who went to Czechoslovakia in Russia in 1969 after his studies at Bukalasa. They were sent. You know, those who don't know these things, let me tell you. Do you know Ukraine? You know where Ukraine, you've heard about the Ukrainian war and all those things. It is the largest producer of wheat in the whole world. Engano. Ever, they have, during the communist era, they used to have these farms, large-scale farms, extensive farms. And they had a lot of ways of doing things that way. I'm talking of agriculture, people. So, the 1966 Constitution, remember the Pigeonhole Constitution, the Common Man's Charter, which Obote introduces. 1966. Are you with me? I'm talking about Uganda. Uganda was going to become a socialist country. So by 69, they have this big conference at Lugogo. I've showed you the picture of my dad standing with my mom outside Lugogo. That is where their wedding was held, the reception. Are you with me? However, in 69, that same venue, the Indo Stadium, would host the biggest conference in East Africa. So You had presidents from Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Mozambique, whatever. All the presidents, Mobutu Sese Seko, Bani Bona, they all came. My dad was there. He was a youth winger. Never Museveni baliyo. Do you know that? Ne Museveni yaliyo erugogo. Museveni ajabanyemeza ebintu bino. So UPC was the thing. Everywhere UPC, everybody UPC, UPC. They were young. My dad in 69 was 20. Yeah, he was 20. 22, 20, because 72 is 24. So he was around 21. He was around 21. Now I'm taking them boys. So we're going back to Yuga Chick. Yuga Chick of today. Of course, Yuga Chick kind of brought together the fragments of the Uganda hatcheries, because it was defunct, it was dissolved. Yuga Chick yaleero Erutete Komamboga Gaza Road waliwo ranch ey'enkoko hatcheries. My mom was behind that very, very huge project. So I was still telling you about my dad in 69 when he attended that big conference at Lugogo Indoor Stadium, and from there he would be taken with a group of them, the young elites, the group of them. They were taken to Czechoslovakia. Today it is Slovakia and Czech Republic. They are two different countries now, but it was all part of the USSR, Union of the Soviet Socialist States. Ichilaba, Kakati, my dad didn't fall far from the tree. You know, he was around what was happening and what was changing, and that would really guide him eventually. So when I take you back to the 70s now, they are together with the Uncle Rogers. Oronga, I've them mango growers. My dad left the job to set up private business, first setting up a tour and travel company, which was called Spear Touring, with Wava Munogodon. Uncle Godon, we are in Kwano, personal friends, you know, but that's many years ago, isn't it? Yeah, so Kakati, eventually, he would leave his promising career as a chief financial auditor in mango growers to start business. Eventually, in the late 70s, Zinalaba Coffee Merchants was huge. It was a very huge conglomerate. The transport, between engineer I began a mass. You get what I'm talking about? Yes, brother. So both ways, my mom and my dad, they were very, although my mom had to wait until she had finished having family to go into corporate, and she worked for only 5 years. That is the Mercedes-Benz you see there next to their Mercedes-Benz. Yes, that car my mom had been gifted. My dad bought my mom a Mercedes-Benz, but she also had another Mercedes-Benz from the Neza government. The Mercedes-Benzes they used to give. We deal yali yamanyi nnyo ne Spear Motors to supply rolling stock for government. Temumanyi bintu bino ate kakati kegusize mbabuli. I'm telling all these things. Mwe mwalabanga bulabi bintu nga naye temubitegeera how things were. And remember, Uganda was still very young. It was only 20 years post-independence. Independence Day, Nabagamba. Hello, miss. How are you? You're right. All right, I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, right. Nabagamba 62. My dad would take part in the exhibition matches that were played pre-independence. Before the formation of the Uganda Cranes, it was called the Younger Cranes. Banabana abato. They only took Nena Bawagundi. What's his name? He passed away recently. Ali. Moses Ali. He was a friend of my dad. That is in the 70s. Batandika Fufa Federation of Uganda Football Association, clubs ezo. And they would adopt the name Cranes for the national team, taking it from the Younger Cranes who took part in the 62. My dad was part of the Younger Cranes, and if he had pursued his football career, he would have gone very far. You people, now this gets it. So many things happened before independence. They had to organize events, they had to bring people around, the idea that the country was amefuga, that the country is going to rule itself and everything's going to be good and all that. It was very joyous. There was a lot of... So, they organized a football competition, call it a competition. But they were more like exhibition matches, just to, the Cranes, the Younger Cranes. So my dad is in that team. And that would explain why he would pick up so much interest in the 70s in football. Ngabai never bidandi sali, tata wagundi, wa bebe, is that it? Bebe cool, yes, sali, yeah. Oyine yalinga ntinda wali ebukoto. Iyi story njajiba wana yote mujina. So akati by 69 my dad has finished his studies and he goes to the Czechoslovakia. They were there I think for about 6 months. Bakomewo barolinga ekintu kyaki kyobote ekya common man's charter ye 10-point program ya M7. Class, it is the same. I have the book. Do you want me to discuss that book with you, the common man's charter and the 10-point program? You're not anymore. So that is Uganda People's Congress. Congress, part of the people. My dad never went into politics. So, and around that time, his friend, the Kabaka, was overthrown. The Kabaka technically was the first president of Uganda. Frederick Mutesa was a personal friend of my dad, the president, and the Kabaka of Buganda Kingdom. So he's in the UK here. He was overthrown, call it that, and then he escaped via Burundi. Then from Burundi he came here, and then he claimed asylum. That's the sad story. So by 69, when my dad is finishing studies, I think it hurt him, because how my dad ends up in Bukarasa Agricultural College was a scholarship he wins for football from Buganda Kingdom. Now the kingdom is not there anymore. They've been all hijacked by what is going on. Obote. The elite. My dad had gone to Mengo Senior School. So he wasn't an outsider. He knew the corridors very well. Mengo Senior School, class of 1965. And he would finish his year as the head prefect or the school captain. You get me? So by 69, the Kabaka is here in the UK, and the Kabaka would pass away. Kabaka agenda kufira wano. He would pass away from here. They said it was something to do with alcohol, poisoning. I don't have that story. I don't have that story. Maybe you can speculate that I know more than I'm letting off, but I don't know that story. You see, but anyway, my dad begins his life. He's a young man, 21, 22. And he becomes extremely rich. Bagenda okujjako Obote. Nga my dad already has connections in this. Principal Private Secretary wa President Milton Obote, Henry Chamber, yali personal friend wa taata wange, nga batambula bonna. Bajjako Obote Singapore mu 71, Idi Amin. Bali bonna. I'm talking about Henry Chamber. Henry Chamber would return back to Uganda. Imagine Obote would end up in Tanzania. But of course, he would fall out with Idi Amin because he couldn't account for a lot of money. But people become extremely rich. The young elites. So technically, if my dad as well resigned in 72, he probably must have had a windfall. Bajjako Obote in 71, he was handling a very, very huge budget. Mango Growers Cooperative Union. Principal Financial Auditor. Oh. You know, kubanga yali mu sente mpitirivu nnyo, my dad. Mpitirivu nnyo. Kakati ne ba politicians kati ebiseera ebyo nga bepositioninze kati bano be baana abato abali mu system be bamanyi okuvuga ekintu. Nabagamba nti, do you know the building Victoria University Railway Station where yali HQ ya Mango Growers Cooperative. My dad yali instrument mu kuzimba ekizimbe ekyo. There was a Yugoslavian company nenda abajita Skanska. Skanska yali mu makunguudo. Temumanyi bintu bino. Bino Obote yali binabagamba bi grandiose projects. So being it was the biggest cooperative union, they had to have an HQ. My dad is in a lot of money. Bajjako Obote, 71. You know how things go. You know, abadde mu kintu nga asirika. So that pretty much brings us to 1972. Katoltuyingidde Idi Amin. My dad is going to retire. He's going to resign, or he's going to give up his career in the cooperative. I think he did one. They must have landed on a very, very big windfall. You get me, people? I want you to get this. Twaliba gaga. Temumanyi sente ze twali tulina. Nabagamba. I tata wange nga muto when I was young. From all that exposure he had in his early years, imagine playing for the national team, independence, 62. He was young. But of course, he was finding his place. He was a teenager at the time and pretty much finding his place. So by the 20s, then he gets the taste of the good life. Dating Miss Uganda contestants, 1969. The most remarkable historic beauty contest in Uganda was in 1969. It's never been replicated. I was in entertainment, Miss Uganda Beauty. I know inside out. The other one, people, they tell you, it was big. In fact, Uganda went so far. They could have brought back the Miss whatever, Miss World, or Miss whatever titles. But anyway, the story is told. My dad was in love with one of the contestants, and it would bring about a clash with the minister. A minister and my dad, where they clashed over a woman in Susanna nightclub. Nankulabye. Kati ate jagenda okusangani Auntie Joelia, the sister of my mom. And then the story is now told differently. That my mom was young at that time, 1969. My mom was about 16. No. She was, because she got married at 16, isn't it? That is 72. So she was around 13. And so if my dad hadn't clashed with the minister over the Miss Uganda, I cannot tell you the names. You go and Google Miss Uganda beauty contestants, finalists, 1969. And then when you see the list, you will see all the contestants. One of those women, one of those girls, they were like 20, 21 age. You know, usually those contestants are usually young. University, 20 to 23. So hadn't my dad clashed with the minister, then the story would have been different. Then had my aunt, Auntie Joelia Bagamba, she was a go-go dancer. Many go-go. But back in the day, I have the pictures of Susanna nightclub. It was entertainment leveled or on the imitation of Lambada, whatever, Babija Caribbean, Calypso, and all that. Kati post-colonial, abaddugavu beegombanga nnyo ebintu by'abazungu, so they adopted. So we've never had a club like Susanna in Uganda again. Susanna nightclub. Ng'abawala bazina, ne beesiba ebikaaya ne bazina. It was superb. Live played nga abakongo bazanya rumba. Congolese. Yes, in Jabawa story of Susanna, I will give you the story of Susanna nightclub. There's a song, Eddie Wamala. He sings about that club. Febabi nyumyanga waka. Embozi tata wange nga nyume n'emikwano gye ng'omuwulira baacakala bataata baffe nga baali baana bato. I think that's the reason why I went into entertainment as well. When I go back, I had this fantasy of singing and having fun. You get me? So you see how the conversation has gone from, we went from one thing to another. So a lot of things shaped my dad's life. From a very humble beginning to astronomical heights that you wouldn't imagine. He had all this privileged access, and he was young. So, let's go back to my mom. Let's talk a bit about my mom. So my mom enters the corporate. Government yobote tunge komyewo. Obote yakomawo bamukomyawo. Abamukomyawo mbamanyi. And there were many reasons why. And some of them, you would relate to them. Mani oito joko. Sandhurst. Kati embo zaawe it goes beyond. Obote changes. Kati mbabulia politics mujewani. We have the bipolar muchimanyi, east and west. Communist, capitalist. Abangereza bali studies the situation. Ne batomeza Idi Amini abangereza be bamuleta. Collateral damage achube. ekyaba socialist kiveewo kati Obote n'awola naye nga bakyamwetaaga kati of course yali alina okukomawo round 2 huko the elections eza 1980 mwe temumanyi politics babinyumyanga awaka ate kati zemba wabiri first hand. This is all conversation at home ne meetings abeeranga waka waffe ezimu kakati ebya Museveni Museveni olutalo lwe odulwana yali alwanisa ki National Resistance Army nationalism kakati hi Christina I'm coming. Okay. All right, dear. Yeah. National Resistance Army, National Resistance Movement. They underline the word national. Then you get what I'm talking about. Bintu bino temubimanyi lwakuba kati faba bimanyi twabirabadda. That is what I told you about the elite. The billionaire elite, batata baffe. 1985, I saw what I saw. I told you, we had a room at home full of money, stacks of money. Yana abalitanga sente zobajjukira abagagga engazibula ngazigenda zagenda ngawa. Anyway, my mom retires in 85, corporate, and she's gifted 2 buses. Is a steer, never story. Bamuwa bus Billy. She did a very big job because I remember Amsterdam, Holland. Hello, my friend. I miss you nowadays, man.
I can sometimes show you, but not.
It's okay, it's all right.
I'm going to be away for 10 days. I'll see you 10 days.
Okay. Have fun, eh?
Thank you.
All right, I see you. I was used to seeing you working out and then also getting motivated, but it's okay.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. Kakati, mama wange bamuwa basi 2. Project eyo yali part of ebintu bya Obote 2. Obote wakomawo, I think yaliko conditions abamukomyawo ngamba abazungu byeyo ekicommunist n'abivaako because the Uganda in 1980 after the elections is different from the Uganda right after independence. Obote won. He opened up the country. N'aleeta bigundi biparastatos, n'aleeta ebintu awo, n'asumulwa ne ku ssente. Naye olutalo luno lwa Museveni luno lwali engineered mu ngeri eyali etya. 1981 to 1985, Uganda had what they called a guerrilla war. Kati mujjukire kiri ekyobote. Ekya 69 ekya Common Money Charter kati mukikomyewo mu 80 akitadde n'eriyo abaakibaka beba Museveni bintu bino temwe it is a kakati ask yourself the question, come close. If Obote had been in Tanzania with Nyerere, and Museveni also had been in Tanzania, Moshi, Kikosi Maalum. So what was the role of TZ of Tanzania? You remember the overthrow Idi Amin in 79, the Tanzanians, they were kombozi. Mujja ngena basomesa politics kati kegusi asomesa basomese mujja kutya kubanze emboozi baginyumyanga waka nti bamuzeeyi baffe baali batadde sente mu lutalo mpitirivu naye ate lwalimu enjuuyi bbiri. Abamerika bakiteekangamu sente n'Abangereza bakirimu. Kati ye Cold War politics yali mu Africa. Kati olutalo lwali kyebagamba the war to end all wars. Eyo theory number. Eyo theory number mu politics. Bwe muddayo gye bayita gundi Truman Doctrine yakuba Japan. Harry Truman wali president wa America yakuba Japan nuclear bombs Nagasaki ne Hiroshima nanyogoza ensi kebayita akagundi. What's a mushroom called? But the mushroom cloud. Ati naffe kyetwalimu olutalo ffe twaluzinga ebintu bingi nnyo. The billionaire elites baaluzinga nnyo nnyo bataata baffe nnyo. Twalina ebintu bitirivu nnyo, amafaamu, amataka, twalina ebintu bingi nnyo. Yona tebajja tusasula, tebatusasula. My dad passed away, so we cannot say we are fighting Chanda later. Chanda nebintu ebyaffe byafiirawo. So nayenga yebadde emboozi. So when we talk about this, we're talking about in hindsight. In hindsight, nti senga kyali bwekiti oba kyali bwekiti. You kind of leverage. You get me? So my mom and dad baali baana bato nnyo, and they were caught within the power play of the day, the dynamics of the day. Nange tata wange yali caught in the dynamics of the day. Naye nga awo wokkawokka bw'okiddayo n'okikola timeline analysis, critical analysis, you will find the answer, and the answer will give you waki Museveni afuze emyaka 40 ate nga ne family ejja. Me, I don't care. That is the world we are living in. It's called the geopolitics of peace, geopolitics of this, geopolitics of this. As long as there is peace in East and Central, the world will move on. Ensi ejja kutambula nga bw'etambula ye politics. Nze namusoma 311.